I guess I am in Texas. Oh, if there was a state in the U.S. that was made for me, it's right here. Oh, traditional values, old-fashioned, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. America is Texas. I know who you are. I believe in you. You should start your own country. I know all about Texas. I know all about you. I'll tell you why I love you. Here's why I love this state amongst all the states. I'll tell you why. Because you are the one state that is not affected one iota by political correctness. You don't care what the other people say. You do what you want to do, and that's what made America great right there. You stand by your own traditions. It's amazing to me. Amazing to me. You don't care. You know what you believe in, and that's what you live for. No matter what they try to shove down your throat, yes, you know, it's illegal for you to pray at a football high school game, and you're like, whatever, dear Lord, please protect the arm of the quarterback on this next thing, because, you know, I got money on the game and all, and, you know, I mean, I'll give you your 10%, you know, that, because I'll go to church after the game, I promise, as long as it's not at 11, then I can't go, but... Not here, not Texas. No, you believe in discipline? Oh man, nothing gets past you people. You know, capital punishment is very controversial. And you're like, I'm sure it is. Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that. I'll be back here about 12:02. We'll discuss. Not in Texas, man, and so I'm here to be with you guys. I came out here to be part of a group of people that I believe in, the kind of Americans that made this country great, strong, hardworking people, and you got guns. What more could I ask for? What more could I ask for? Oh, yeah. Nobody's throwing pies in my face because my people got me covered. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So as I sit here, in February in Texas, right by the Gulf, I just got one thing to say to you people to start this night off right. One thing only. Merry Christmas. Did you hear me? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, kids. Look at the people. Why is he saying Merry Christmas? It's February. Mother, he's scaring me. I'll tell you why. Because I just have reached a place in my life where I figured if there are Americans in this country, which would make sense being that it's America, but if there are Americans who actually believe that it is offensive and insensitive to say Merry Christmas at Christmas time, well, the least I can do is then say it the other 11 months of the year. I figure that's a good trade-off. I'll say it the other 11. Makes sense. Makes sense. Sure, if it makes sense you can't say it at Christmas time, that must make sense you can say it the other times. I'm gonna say it all the time. It's gonna be my new buzzword. People call me on the phone. Is Brad there? Merry Christmas! Policeman will stop you. You know how fast you were going? Merry Christmas! Doctor's visit. I think we found some polyps in that colon. Merry Christmas! I'm saying it all the time. I'm gonna say Merry Christmas so often, they're gonna beg me to save it for Christmas time. And I'll tell you why, because I believe in the truth. That's all I have is the truth, my brothers and my sisters. All I have is the truth, and that's what I want to speak about. And the truth of the matter is, most people celebrate Christmas. If there's another religion, another belief system, you have the right to disagree. I don't care. That's what America is. But you have got to be kidding me to act like there's tons of people that might be offended by Christmas. I'm sorry, but how many people don't? So you can celebrate Christmas in this country. What, 4? Well into the 90% of people are Christmas shoppers. And yet the retail establishments actually took Merry Christmas signs out of their stores. The same stores, by the way, that start advertising in July for you to show up at Christmas time, who beg you to show up so they can make some money, took our signs out because they wanted to be, inclusive. And there's no inclusiveness. They're acting like there's all these other people that if they don't show up, they're gonna lose money. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, but if you lose all those last-minute winter solstice buyers, you're gonna lose a lot of dough. No, I don't think so. No, but I'll tell you what, if Christmas shoppers don't show up, you're in trouble. So I say we try an experiment since you're so inclusive. Here's what we're gonna buy this Christmas. Are you ready? All the Christmas shoppers, here's what we're gonna buy. Ready? Nothing! Look at the kids. Ah! Why, I would do anything for the Lord. No presents. Ah! He's asking too much. Send me to Africa instead. We're not buying nothing, you hear me? We're not gonna buy a gift, we're not gonna buy a ribbon, we're not gonna buy a card, we're not gonna buy a tree, we're not gonna show up in one retail establishment in the month of December in case our presence is offensive. What do you think they'll do the following year? Keep them signs down because they feel like they've done something good for America? No, let me tell you what they'll do the following year. Not only will Merry Christmas signs return, they'll be 50 feet high in neon with fireworks shooting out of the top of them. And they'll make it mandatory that all their checkout girls dress like Jesus. Handing out Bibles with every purchase the entire time, being serenaded by a 50-piece Vienna boys choir playing Silent Night in Latin. And the only thing that might offend you is stepping in camel poop from the live nativity scene they shipped in from Bethlehem. That's what would happen if Christmas shoppers didn't show up just one December. Just one. Oh my goodness. You gotta stick up for your tribe. You know why we don't shop for Christmas time? You know why we've allowed people to take stinking Christmas signs out of our stores? Because we have gotten too politically correct in this country, and political correctness is a cancer. I can't stand it. My job, if I have any legacy, I wanna watch political correctness die in my lifetime. But first, I want to watch it suffer. Because political correctness not only is anti-American because it forces you to self-censor yourself, but it also is cowardly because it means you don't stand for something you believe in. That's what I can't stand. It's what's killing this country. It's the wussification of America that's killing us. If you don't say Merry Christmas at Christmas time, you're a wuss. And if you're wussified, get out of here. It's time for us to stand for what we believe. See, this is the problem. This is the dilemma. I know I'm the Christian boy. I'm not supposed to offend people, and I agree. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I got a flash for you, my friends. Listen very carefully. You see, there's a difference between maliciously offending somebody on purpose and somebody being offended by truth. That's right. Of course that's right. I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't right. It's kind of my thing. I say the right stuff. That's what I'm saying, because this is what we've forgotten. If you're offended by the truth, that's your problem. I have no obligation to not offend you if I'm speaking the truth. The truth is supposed to offend you. That's how you know you don't got it. Supposed to offend you. So that's all I'm talking about. You have to speak truth, otherwise you have nothing. You have nothing. It's all arbitrary anyways. The people that get offended in this country, it's arbitrary. I mean, at least we should all vote on what is offensive. We should all vote, and if we all agree, then that's fine, but we don't. People just make it up. I mean, that's all you have to do in this country now. You don't have to have a better point of view. You simply say you're offended, and everybody else has to back off. Is that all you gotta do? Well, I wanna play. Don't have to argue my opinion anymore. I just get to make up offensive. You know what offends me? Offended people. That's right. Offended people. And the funny thing about offended people is they get offended so easily that they are the ultimate wussified, politically correct people. So they simply say, you've hurt my feelings, and I say, you too, and then they go home and sue themselves. That's funny. Because if I have to endure one more stinking Christmas with people telling me Merry Christmas is offensive, I'm gonna puke. Then I'm gonna soil myself, clean up the puke, put it in a box with a big ribbon, send it to the ACLU with a big fat Merry Christmas sign right on the top of it. Tolerate this. Wussification's killing us. And it's our kids, the legacy of our children, is the ones that have to learn no more wussification. Because it's an arbitrary thing. That's what I'm talking about, my friends. The offensiveness is arbitrary. I mean, people just say, I'm offended, and it gets ridiculous. Suddenly, you can't do anything. You can't believe anything. Last Halloween, there was a town in Washington State that were all going to celebrate Halloween at their elementary school, and they were going to let all the kids dress up in Halloween costumes. But this is what they told the kids. But girls, you can't dress like a witch. Do you know why? Because there was a woman from the local Wicca chapter that was offended by the stereotype. Wait a minute. Excuse me, but if you're getting offended because you're a witch, you should be. I've read about you people. You tried to throw Hansel and Gretel in an oven, you're poisoning apples, you're riding around on brooms, you got a big fat nose, you got warts sticking out of your face, you're throwing curses on everybody. If anybody deserves to be offended in this country, it's a witch. And by the way, if I offend you and you're a witch, I don't know, isn't there a potion for that? Maybe some bat wings, some lizard legs, some rutabagas, mix them up in a cauldron, drink it all up. Because I'm thinking, if you control the universe with your incantations, why, you'd have bigger fish to fry than being offended by a 6-year-old in striped socks and a pointed hat trying to score a Kit Kat bar to Halloween, you dork. Put a helmet on and slam it down tight. Oh, stop the presses. We're offending witches now. Lord have mercy. Count your blessings. At least we stop burning you at the stake, you big babies. Just what I need. There's probably some witch here in the back going, I'm offended. I'm leaving. Offending witches, folks. Can't have that. No, we cannot. But here's the problem, I say. This is what I'm talking about. It's about the idea of political correctness, because it's despicable. It's despicable. And yet, we can fix it, because nobody made a law that you have to be politically correct. We decided to go along with some couple little wussy whiners. You know how you stop political correctness? You don't do it. Somebody says, you've offended me. And you say, I don't care. Game over. I win. Remember, folks, if they're offended by truth, it's their issue. That's what I'm talking about. You have to be responsible for what you believe, and as an American, you have the right, the privilege, and the expectation to speak the truth at all times, and not blame others. Because you got your aliens here. For crying out loud, it's ridiculous. That's what we become, a bunch of wussy nations that want to blame everybody else every time something goes wrong, and it's got to stop. I mean, it's ridiculous. Somebody shoots somebody, not my fault. We got to blame the gun manufacturer. Let's sue them. They invented guns. You know, you get fat, not my fault. Sue McDonald's. Why, if there hadn't been hamburgers, I never would have had this problem. How dare they bring something in that I might abuse? Get in a car wreck, sue Ford. What in the world is going on? And it's always ridiculous. That's what I feel sorry for corporations in this country. If you have a corporation that actually manufactures a product, you always have to be one step ahead of our incompetence. That's the new rule now. If you make something and I can figure out a way to hurt myself with it, you gotta help me. Gotta save me from myself. I mean, and you always hear these people whine about something that went wrong, and you can tell it's ridiculous. You can tell it's just some kind of crazy thing they made up because they don't want to take any responsibility. Oh, I got in a wreck, and now I'm still in Ford. Yeah, but you're going like 90 around that curb. I know, but why didn't they invent pogo sticks that shoot out and knock you right back up on this thinking thing? Yeah, why didn't we think of that? Everything that can go wrong, you got to figure out a way to keep me from hurting myself. And then they get some attorney, and he's always trying to wax eloquent about some kind of, way that this should have been done properly. And it's always so ridiculous and trivial. Yes, this is the United States of America, the most technologically advanced country in the history of civilization. We put men on the moon. Why can't we make the things we run into softer? We have the technology. Bumper cars. Get in a wreck, have fun. Use it as a tool to get cruddy people off the road. He's going 3 in the fast lane. Got him. Ha-ha! Other people are playing along. Hey, there he is. What the? Whoa! Ever try to steer a bumper car? No more traffic jams. Nobody can go the same way. See ya. Okay, what in the world? You going to work? I don't know. I haven't been home in 2 weeks, for crying out loud. Man, do I have to pee. This is bad. Look at the people. Christian boy said pee. I thought you didn't curse. I didn't curse. I said pee. Amazes me my people will freak out over stuff like that. I mean, they got this craziness. I learned that when you believe in Jesus, he just dissolves your bladder away. There's no more peeing in Christianity. And if you're really freaking out, I was using the letter, not the word, so get your head out of the gutter. People got their concordances. He got me. He got me. Never saw that one coming. Blaming is not what I'm about. I don't blame people. I try to take personal responsibility. If I make a mistake, by the way, I change. See, one of the things I've tried to live my life by is I don't care what I believe, I care about what is true. If the truth conflicts with my beliefs, I change my belief. That's what we're supposed to do as people. Not blame others. We blame people, we blame manufacturers, we blame food, we blame God. Something goes wrong, God should have been there intervening for us. The same God that apparently the Founding Fathers never wanted anywhere around us. Same God that started this country that we've gotten rid of, and yet, when something goes wrong, they're getting mad at God, but we want him out. That's all you ever hear. Get God out of the Boy Scouts. Get out of the Boy Scouts, God. Get off of our buddy, God. Get out of our universities, God. Get out of the military, God. Get out of our textbook, God. Get out of our homes, God. Get off of our televisions, God. Go away, God. We don't want you, God. We don't need you, God. Katrina hits. God, where are you? Where'd you go? Help us. You don't think God's going, make up your mind. You want me in or out? And we get mad at him. They had pastors. You remember that? Katrina hits. They had pastors on CNN asking him why God would let this happen. Remember that? Why would God let this happen to us? Because people that don't believe in God, they just can't take it when things are out of their control. So they just suddenly they're going back there. Why would God let this happen? Because something bad happened. But then again, I've never seen them once have a pastor on CNN, and they said, it's been a really nice day today. Why would God let that happen? Never gets any credit for doing something good, but boy, something bad happens. God, what have you done? Get all mad at God. And yet people that actually have a Judeo-Christian worldview understands that there's something that we believe in called natural disaster. Disasters are natural because once the fall hit, everything got screwed up. So disasters are now normal. Natural disaster. What do they call it out there? Act of God. Act of God. That's not in the Bible. You know who came up with that? Insurance companies. Yeah. That was their line, so they didn't have to pay off. Hey, sorry, your house got swept away by that hurricane. We'd love to pay you, but it's an act of God. Apparently, God didn't want you to have a house. Who are we to argue, with God? Anyways, keep them premiums coming, will you? Thanks. Act of God. But see, we didn't used to think like that in this country. In this country, there used to be the idea of discipline, the idea of personal responsibility, the idea that things happen bad, and what are you going to do with them? Because you always grow more from pain than pleasure. That's the unfortunate part of life. But the kids don't know. Because you're kids. How old are you? 12 years old. 12. You were born in the 90s. Isn't that embarrassing? You don't know nothing. 12 years old, and this poor kid has grown up in the world that we've given them because we didn't stand up and be warriors for truth and righteousness and goodness. No, you see, but we didn't get that. See, us older guys, we're a little bit stronger, a little bit more backbone. You know why? Because we could spank when we were kids. Spanking still happened back in them days. Remember that? I'm not talking about beating your kid or being evil. I'm talking about a big old spank on the butt. What do you think your butt was invented for? Doesn't have any other use. Good old spank on the butt, though, will take care of you. Why? It's not that complicated. Better be spanking you at 6 than looking for a bail bondsman at 16. It's not that hard to figure out. I want my kids to know discipline, to know there's a price to pay for decisions. But we don't know anything about that because we got a new world of the humanism who, once we got rid of God, there's no morals anymore, so we have to make it up as we go. That's what they said. They stopped spanking because, do you remember this? They said it teaches kids how to hit. Do you remember that? Oh, don't spank a kid. It teaches them how to hit. Okay, first off, if I'm spanking a kid, he already knows how to hit. It's probably why he's getting spanked, to be perfectly honest. Nobody teaches a kid how to hit. You have to teach a kid how not to hit. My goodness, that's what's so ridiculous about the concept. And nobody questions these people because they're a psychologist. And if I got a PhD in front of my name, I'm smarter than the rest of you. You know what? I'll take common sense any day. I'll take common sense any day. If you can just make it up, then we should have to hold people accountable to this. Let's just use this throughout all of our decision-making process. Hey, don't spank a kid. It teaches them how to hit. It's kind of like saying, don't put people in jail. It teaches them how to hold people against their will. Not complicated. Good old spank on about, let you know that every decision you make in life is going to have a consequence. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. It's up to you. Not complicated. And I feel sorry for you, 12. You know why? Because we gave you this. We gave you this wussified country. We got to get it back. We got to get it back, man. Even the icons, the kids you grew up, the things that you grew up with that teach you about life, wussies. Crying out loud, this poor kid grew up with Barney. What is the deal with Barney? He's like a purple, happy, fat dinosaur with little hands that just stick to the side like that. They just stick to his side. They can't even reach his mouth. I don't know how he feeds himself. He's fat, but he can't even reach his mouth. How does he feed himself? I don't know. All I know is every episode, one kid's missing, another kid took his place. That's all I know. Barney. The political correct icon. I watched Barney one time where all the kids raced. And at the end of the race, the kid said, "Who won, Barney?" And he's politically correct. So, of course, he had to say, "Why, we're all winners." Just once you want a kid to say, "Oh, okay, but you know that last place winner?" You know, the fat kid eating cake that hasn't even crossed the finish line yet? What's up with that? I'm the first place winner. Shouldn't I get some props? You know, all that 6 months of training and human growth hormone. I think I'd get something for that. Nope, I don't get nothing. We're all winners. What does that mean, we're all winners? It means you tied. If you tied, nobody won. If nobody won, you're all losers. You're all losers. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We have a country that would rather teach you you're all a bunch of losers than to teach you that somebody might be better than you at something. Because you know what, brother? Going to be lots of people better at you at stuff. What are you going to do with it? You gonna get strong, or you gonna whine? You gonna be courageous or a coward? You gonna be driven or be destroyed? What are you gonna do when they're better than you? Gonna be a man? Used to have that phrase. Remember those days? Be a man? That's gone now. That's sexist. Can't say be a man. That implies that men and women are different. Ah! Yeah, we're different. I want them different. I want women different than me. Trust me. Trust me on this one. There ain't no parts on a man I'm interested in, I'm telling you right now. Women got all the good stuff. God made you that way. And I have no problem with that. I have no problem talking about it. And if you're thinking church-going people, you shouldn't either. Dang it. If you're a little uncomfortable because we're talking about things like that, do yourself a favor. Don't read Song of Solomon. You'll have a heart attack. I'm tired of the wussy Christians out there, too. Acting like we can't be real about life. But you had Barney. You didn't know no different. Why do you think your dad and people like me are much stronger and more powerful than you? I will tell you why. We had no Barney, my brother. We grew up with Captain Kangaroo. That's right, Captain Kangaroo. Our guy was in the military. No apologies. 2 big old pockets. I don't know what were in there. I'm guessing a Glock and some 9mm shells right over here. Military man. And there was none of this, everybody's in the same boat. He'd ask you a question, but if you missed it, you didn't all win. He dropped ping pong balls on your head. He shamed you in front of the whole nation. Now go home and study, you wuss. That was America. But you don't know. You're 12 years old. Is this your brother? No? Friend? Yeah, how old are you? 14 years old. Well, there you go. 2 years more, brother. 14, 12-year-old boy that doesn't know any different but Barney. Never heard of Captain Kangaroo. Don't stop and question nothing. Just go along with the flow. Dang, I'm drinking water out of a bottle, and they're looking at me like that's normal, because this is all they've ever known. Why? This is where water comes from. Your entire life, you've been spending $2 for a bottle of water. Let me tell you about a bygone age of fairies and trolls. When I was your age, water came out of a magic faucet. Yeah, with 2 little wands that you could maneuver. And sometimes the water was hot, and sometimes it was cold. And you had to actually go to a cupboard and pull out something called a cup and place it under the water faucet and let the water flow. And then you had to drink the water, but it was not conveniently locked into this perfectly round sphere. You had to balance your lips so it didn't pour out the side. And then when you went outside to play, the magic water fairies followed you, and the water suddenly came out of the hose. You had water out of the hose. That's right, the hose. And by the way, any hose would do. That was the unwritten rule. I don't care where you were in the neighborhood. If you're thirsty, you could go to your neighbor's hose and drink out of it. That's what we had. Hose are there to be drunk from. Back in the day, you sucked it up. Not now. You ever seen hoses nowadays? Buy a new hose. You see what it says? Not fit for human consumption. They say that. Don't drink out of the hose. Can't use the water out of the hose to drink anymore. Apparently, it was cutting into the bottled water profits. I think all the bottled water people own the hose industry, because I'm sorry, my brother, but if you ever go to a bottled water plant, guess what they're filling the bottles up with? A hose. You don't care, you're just falling for it. Been wussified. A little bit, this is gonna be empty. I'm gonna cap it all up, and then I'll sell you a bottle of air. No, this is bottled air. It's not like that cruddy air that just hangs around the atmosphere. $2.50. Yeah, you gotta remember who we were and what we were. Good laugh. Just follow the rest of the people, though, if you could. Got like the lunatic guy. Sorry. Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. But now, for those of you who don't know who I am, I am a comic, been doing it many, many, many years, almost 20 years now. And the entire time that I did my comedy, as I came out on stage, out of the closet years ago and admitted that I'm a Christian. I admitted it to the whole world. And yet, even when I started in comedy many, many years ago, I was always a Christian, but I was in comedy clubs, and so I never used any curse words. I've always been curse-free, never used any gratuitous sexual references, because I've always felt that creativity is funnier than crude, and I always wanted to use words that were just normal words that could create laughter. That's the way I've always been. And as a Christian, it was just not something I was allowed to do. You know, Christians grow up, we're not supposed to curse, and that's good. That's good that you watch your mouth. But the problem is, it slips out now and again, because you're human. Human. And sometimes we don't even give ourselves that much. See, that's the point I'm trying to make. I wish we were more real to people that don't believe like us. Maybe they'd actually find us interesting and compelling because we're real with them. Because the truth of the matter is, it's not fair that we don't have curse words. Christians should have their own curse words. Because I don't care how holy you are, you slam your hand in a car door, something's coming out of your mouth. That's just the way it is. And for some reason, a curse word feels like just the right man for the job. I don't know what it is about slamming your hand, but ouch just doesn't cut it. For some reason, it's that curse word that makes it feel like it's beginning to heal. See, that's the thing that people forget. That's the natural part about life that I believe in. You see, we spend our lives trying to watch our mouth because it's natural to curse. Nobody has to learn to curse. You have to learn how not to. She knows. This woman curses like a sailor, I'm telling you. She can't curse enough. Her friends don't even want to sit next to her half the time. She's a lunatic. Got a great laugh, though. What's your name? Sandra Ford? Forrester. She's mad at me like I should have known. Forrester, you idiot! Don't you have a dossier on all the people that enter your room? Sandra Ford, you live here in Lake Forest? Lake Forest? Forest Lake? Forrester? Lake Jackson. I don't know. I'm at a new place. Give me a break, will you, lady? I don't know where I am. See, you live here. You already got it down. You live here your whole life? 30 years. What do you do?
Home provider for Down's children.
Oh, God bless you. Home provider for Down's children. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So you got kids. They made you want to throw out a few curse words now and again. Don't be talking to me any different. Am I right? Yes. Of course I'm right. We got to watch our mouths, man. It ain't easy. That's what I'm talking about because it's natural. It's natural to curse. Man, it's so natural to curse. So natural to curse, we even invented a hand signal. So if I'm cursing in the car, I can let you in on it. That's what we did. We decided that the middle finger meant I'm cursing you. We just made that up. I feel sorry for the middle finger. Never did anything wrong. Big, strong, big, long finger. We decided you're the curse of Cain. We could have chosen any of the fingers, just the middle one for some reason. Why, all the other fingers, as a matter of fact, mean good things. Number one. Could have made this a bad finger, but we said, no, they'll make it a good one. Number one, you're number one. Thumb, like, hey, don't kill the gladiator. You know, good stuff. Stop cars. Hey, can I take a ride? Stop in a car. Add a little finger. Ooh, hang loose. Oh, lose the thumb. Hey, can I have some tea? I guess. I don't know what that is. Every finger means something because we choose to let it mean something. Third finger. I don't know what this one is. This is kind of like I'm cursing you, but I'm dyslexic. I guess. I don't know what that is. I don't know. We make it up. Your middle finger isn't bad. We chose to decide it was. Of course, sometimes I get angry and I have to watch myself trying to be a good Christian boy. Somebody cuts me off in traffic, you know, I want to give them the old finger, not allowed to. I figured it out, though. I just give them the whole hand. Hey, guess. That way I can get out of it. Hey, you cursing me? No, I'm saying you're number one, man. What's the deal? It's hard. But see, it's about words, and words are important. I believe in words. I believe words are very important. But, sometimes we make them bad that actually weren't. You know, Jesus used words that we wouldn't allow to be said in church. You know that? Jesus. He called a bunch of Pharisees once a generation of vipers. A generation of vipers. What does that mean? Son of a snake. That's exactly what it means. Sons of snakes. You're a son of a snake! We have a similar term in the United States of America. We do. We can call somebody a son of a dog. Now, if you don't think it's a curse word, at least it's an insult, saying you come from an animal. So now we got a problem. Either Jesus cursed, making him a sinner, which means he's not God, or sin isn't always what we think it is. Christianity isn't as black and white as we've tried to make it. We got to remember, our Bible's filled with words that you wouldn't say to a kid. It's filled with concepts that you wouldn't want to say to a child. Because it's for adults, too. The Christians got to quit acting like a bunch of babies. They can't think and sugarcoat everything. We got to sugarcoat everything. Sometimes life is rough. One of the great things about my faith, great thing about Christianity, one of the reasons I'm a Christian is because it's the only religion that would have me. Because you don't have to do anything but believe in God. I love that. I love the one religion that was honest enough to look at humans and go, you stink. Come on in. Need that kind of God, man. I couldn't have done any of the other religions because they had all these rules. That's all they know is rules. You know, hey, I'll join your religion. No bacon. I'm out. I'm out! What kind of a God would deny a man a BLT? You're crazy! I'm out! No. That's what I like about Christianity, man. It's completely unique and different. Lets me in the game, even though I don't deserve to be in the game. I'm proud of that. But my point is, it's hard to do this spiritual journey, man. It's hard. It takes faith. You got to do all this stuff, and you can't even do it right. And we give ourselves rules to make it even harder. And then rules to be a human, which never understood me. We got to give ourselves some slack somewhere, my brothers. I mean, especially when it comes to your human parts, your human flesh. Why do I have to say pardon me for something my body does? Pardon me sounds like something you'd only say if your body did something nobody else had ever done before. I mean, you're apologizing. It sounds like you should have done something nobody else had ever pulled off. Fire shoots out of your butt. That would be worth an apology. Because you wouldn't see that coming. You wouldn't know what to do. Go to that big job interview, Mr. Bemis, it's been a... What in the... Pardon me! I can type! That was weird. If that happened, I'd say apologize. But we don't. We apologize for stupid stuff like yawning. You yawn, you gotta say sorry, and then you gotta cover it up like you did something wrong. Oh, I hope you didn't look in. It's ridiculous. Ever talk to somebody and they have to yawn, and they think if they do, it means that they think you're boring and they try to hold it in like that looks natural. Yeah, nothing more normal than talking to a guy that's having a seizure right in front of your face. And then when he's done, he just nods at you like we didn't see anything coming. Yeah, well. Sometimes you have somebody talk to you and they have to yawn, so they just talk through the yawn like you'll never see this. What's that all about? Yeah, I thought we'd do the if that's okay with you. Merry Christmas. I don't know what's going on. Enough! I'm talking to my people now. To my people now. I've had lots of fun, 3 albums, and now number 4. Making fun of people that are atheists, secular humanists, and far left-leaning people. I've made fun of them. You know why? Because you all deserve to have a comic too. Championing your values, not putting your country down, but lifting it up, and standing for things you believe in. You deserve that. But, my brothers, we also need to understand that we have gotten our own. See, this is the thing. The church has its own political correctness. It's called legalism. And it's the nonsense that has them people in the church telling you what you can do, can't do, what you can drink, can't drink, what you can wear, what you can't wear to be a good Christian. The very thing that Jesus hated his whole time on earth. What we've become many times. We're not all in the same place. You're not supposed to judge people where they're at in the journey. You're supposed to judge them where they're going. I think we've got to give ourselves some more grace. And maybe it starts by just allowing ourselves to do stuff we should have been able to do all along. You got to yawn. You got to sneeze. Because that's all you get anything for, is a sneeze. Ever think of that? You yawn, you got to apologize like you did something wrong. The only thing you get something for is a sneeze. When you sneeze, you get a God bless you. That's all you get. You don't get blessed by God when you yawn or burp or cough. I guess it's not quite as miraculous. But when you sneeze, they give you God bless you, which never made sense to me because we used to say God bless you for special occasions. You've helped the sick and the lepers. God bless you. How does a sneeze weasel its way into this thing? It's like the worst thing you can do to somebody. You've gotten germs all over me. God bless you for that. If anything deserves a God bless you, it's the yawn, because at least you're sucking germs back into your body. Cleansing the environment. Sure. Hey, you just saved me from that avian bird flu. God bless you. Okay. Unbelievable. We got to be more real to people. I think people would actually care a little bit more about your belief system if you acted like you're real and told when you were flawed and started being honest enough to know that you still struggle with stuff in life, man. Enough of this legalism. It's killing us. I say you got to yawn. You got to sneeze. You got to fart, let her fly. I don't care anymore. Enough's enough. Look at the people. Christian boy said fart this time. I can't take that. He said fart. We don't say fart. We say toot. This is unbelievable. Christians make curse words out of words that never were supposed to be a bad word. We say toot. Oh, and it makes it smell a whole lot better too, doesn't it? Fart is not a bad word. It's not a curse word. It's a word representing an odor you don't like. And you don't like the word because you don't like the odor. If it smelled good, you could have cared less. If we had called roses farts, you would have loved the name. Would have changed everything. Mother, look at this. Dennis sent me a dozen farts. Smell the farts, Mother, smell the farts. Oh, smell these farts. I'm gonna cut the farts and put them throughout the entire house. Look, Mother, I've cut the farts everywhere. Now it smells like a fart everywhere I go. Walk into the restroom, Dad's been in there. Who rosed in here? It's a word! Oh, we're crying out loud. I don't care what kind of people we are. How old are you? Yeah. 19? You Christian? Good-looking girl. You married? No, not married. Good-looking Christian follower of Jesus girl, saving herself pure and strong and wholesome, loving God and loving people and loving her church and loving the Bible. Guarantee you she farts right here, that girl right there. Am I right? Am I right? There you go. She's a farter. We all do. Goes with the game. She's shocked, like she's been exposed. You don't have to say, pardon me. We all do it. That's the truth. And the truth is all I got. Thanks for being honest. And let's think about this. For all of eternity throughout the world as this DVD is circulated. Your face is gonna be right there saying, I fart. God bless you for that. I want my people to have more fun. We're followers of the light, followers of the truth, and we've turned ourselves into a bunch of oppressive jerks that stink and judge each other. You're a follower of Jesus, you're in the tribe. We need each other. We need each other. No more games. Look, I'm not saying you can't have standards. That's up to you as a Christian believer. You want to drink or not drink, that's up to you. You want to do this and not do, that's up to you. But man, you can't be telling other people what they are because that ain't right. Unless the Bible says not to do it, it's none of your business. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. Ain't right. Oh, well, I don't want to get off on that. I'm just trying to give us some of the freedom that Jesus wants us to have all the time, all the time. No wonder Jesus left. No wonder he looked at his own people and said, how long must I endure you? Because that's who we've become. The Pharisee. Who always thinks they're bigger and better and holier than everybody else. And yet the Bible says they're the weaker brother. They stumble because they're babies. If you think you're all holier than the rest of us, you're actually the stumbler. You're the milk-drinking little girl, little boy that we all have to stink and kowtow to because you stink and haven't grown up yet. Man, I'm sitting in here in front of the stages in front of around the country saying, I believe in Jesus, I'm a Christian man, and yet I can compete on your stages, but I can't think and compete with my own people acting like crazy people. Because I'm a man, I'm trying to live like a man. If I make a mistake, I admit it. Apologize, I've got no ego. I don't care, I just want the truth. I'm growing, I'm on the journey, just like you. But we got a country that doesn't even believe in that. Doesn't even believe in a man being a man. What's that all about? They put you in a sitcom, you're always the idiot, man. How have men survived all these years without women and children? That's all I ever heard, man. Find your feminine side, right? You ever once heard a woman be told, find your male side? Find your macho-ness. That's just up to us. Those guys are all screwed up. Girl acts like a girl, she's rewarded. Guy acts like a boy, he's given Ritalin. Find your feminine side. That's what they kept telling me. Find my feminine side. Guess what? I found my feminine side. You know what I did? I married her. I'm good. I got feminine side 24 hours a day. I got it coming out my ear. That's all right. I'm glad men and women are different. That's the way it's supposed to be. But my point is that guys are the ones that have the least amount of connection in church. Have you noticed that? Only 40% of the people in church every Sunday is a man. Men are leaving church because they ain't connecting to men because we're different. We like things to explode. We like it. We like stuff catches on fire accidentally. If our friend falls into a ditch, we laugh. That's what men do. It's funny. As long as it's not me. I think we need a man church. We need a place where men can go and just think and connect to each other like men do, because we don't like to get together. We don't like talking about stuff. We're just weird about it. And they'd make us do stuff at church that we don't like to do, and then we think we're bad Christians. You guys know what I mean. Don't be playing your game, man. It's all you're standing up thinking church is about over. If you would, hold the hand of the man next to you. I don't even want to brush up against the man next to me. Now I gotta hold his hand? And you think you're not being a good brotherly love Christian man. All right, I guess I'll try to hold the hand of the man next to me. This is weird, but I'm trying to show that I'm a lovely person, Jesus kind of man of God, and so I'm gonna try to, and he got the overgrip. He got the overgrip! I went for the overgrip and he beat me to it. Now I'm the girl. When does this prayer end? Amen. Amen. Man church, because Jesus was a man. Let me tell you something about my religion, I believe. Jesus was a man, and we've learned things about Jesus. We learned that he turns the other cheek. We learned that he's meek and mild. We learned that he's sweet and loving. We learned that he forgives and he's filled with grace, and all those things are true. One of the things that makes my religion different than everybody else's and unique is it said you got to love your enemies and pray for those that despitefully use you. Nobody else would have ever told you to do that. And I'd never take that part away from Jesus. It makes him unique and special and loving and graceful. And I need him. But there was another Jesus that we don't get taught that turned tables over and took a whip to people. And you know what? If you do that in the United States, you know what they call it? Assault and battery. You laugh, but if I take a whip to you, my brother, you can arrest me. Wouldn't you think that'd be a sin? To swing a whip at somebody? So either Jesus wasn't God, or sin isn't always what we think it is. In the essentials, unity. In the non-essentials, liberty. In all things, love. We have tried to make Jesus exactly what we want him to be, and he wasn't. He made a living ticking off the religious people. Every time they thought he was supposed to do it this way, he just turned the tables on them, literally. You know what I mean? Jesus went in to heal a guy's hand, and they said that people watched to see if he was going to do it in the Sabbath. Heal his hand. They didn't see that. Is he going to work on the Sabbath? Bad? Good. That's a Pharisee. More concerned about their rules and their church functions properly than loving somebody. That's what we all can become. And I'm looking out at you people. I know who you are. You're my people. I've been that guy before. We all have. We got to change. Because I believe that men should take leads in some of the things in culture that we've been taken away from. We should lead. Be a man, be a warrior. Defend your faith, your family, your culture, and your character. I'm sorry, you can call me a sexist, but I think there's some things men shouldn't do. Men should not be cheerleaders. Sorry. Men shouldn't be cheerleaders. You know, women should be cheerleaders. They're better at it. They can do all the great moves. They can do tricks and flips and splits, all the great moves. Guys got one move. Hold the girl by the rear end. How, in this age of political correctness and oversensitivity, is somebody not suing somebody over this? Because when I was growing up, guys would always mock guy cheerleader. Guy cheerleader, wussy. Guy cheerleader couldn't get on the team. Guy cheerleader. Hey. Well, I'm too short for basketball. How are they getting away with that? I can't believe some of you. Somebody's going to see my DVD and they're going to be suing. You watch. It's going to. Some lawyer's going, man, why didn't I think of that? You know, and men and women do things differently, you know, and there's things that women do that guys can't do. That's my point. I'm not saying we're better than you. I'm saying we do some things better than you. You do some things better than us. I'm glad. That's why I need you. Fill in the spots I don't know. Of all the things that women can do, I'll tell you what's the most amazing. They can have a baby. That blows me away. I will never in my life know what it's like to have a human being inside of me. It's amazing. Something happens to a woman's head when she's pregnant, though. Those things that used to be called rationality and common sense kind of just go bing. She starts making stuff up and acting crazy. I mean, she's 8 months pregnant, gained 30 pounds. She's like, honey, I think I look fat. Do these jeans make me look fat? I feel fat. Do I look fat? Am I fat because I feel fat? Am I fat? I'm fat. I feel like fat. I'm fat, fat, fat. Am I fat, 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 fat? Hey, 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 you are! Bet I know why. Maybe it's because you got a baby lodged in your stomach. Taking a shot. At least it comes out of the stretchy part. What if it came out of your back? This stinks. This stinks. What is going on? All I can do is ring bells now. What's happening? They got special terms they use when they're pregnant. They don't even say pregnant. Got special words they use. I'm expecting. Expecting what? I'm expecting a child, silly. Oh, well, then you probably got a good shot. You know, being you're human and all. Man, I wouldn't think you'd be expecting. I'd think you'd be pretty sure. I mean, expecting would only make sense if you didn't know what you're going to get. That'd be weird. Go through 9 months of Lamaze. Ah, you had a weasel. Ah! I wasn't expecting that. Good one. I say they should let men get pregnant. Give us a chance. Let us have a shot at it. Yes. I'd do it. I'd do it. Oh, the women were clapping, but not because they believe in unity. It's because they're like going, they couldn't handle it. I love it when women say that. I mean, I could understand them saying, you know, we wouldn't like it, but they always say the same old nonsense. Oh, they couldn't stand it. They couldn't handle the pain. They couldn't take the pain. No, we'd make a sport out of it. 9 months later, hey, Bubba's in labor. Push it, buddy, push it. Tim, go deep. Woo! Bubba, you had a weasel. You don't think men and women are different? Still not convinced? Look around. Men are laughing. The women are like, he spiked the baby. It is just simply not funny when you spike babies. Hey, women, look. Baby ain't really here. It's a metaphorical, allegorical baby. Not real baby, kind of giving you this funny idea of what would happen if a man had a baby. Since a man can't have a baby, this can't even be here. Look at him. He's okay. He's gonna make it. He'll be here for the next show, guaranteed. No, we got a fine bunch of wussies in our country when we're all concerned about the abuse of a pretend baby. But that's what you can be. That's what you can become when you get so used to the knee-jerk reactions that you lose common sense. Let me talk to you a minute. I got any white stuff on me hanging? No? Because if I do, suddenly there'll be a technical malfunction. Yeah. So here we are in Texas. Bunch of people having fun, huh? Good times? Bunch of kids, get some people. Where are you from? Texas. Are you? Texas? Telling you, that's all you got to say around here. I'm from Texas. This is all I need. That's plenty. How long you been in Texas? All my life. All my life. They still don't use eyes, apparently, in Texas. No need it. Dang. This your wife? Yeah? How long you been married? 17 years. Huh. What do you do for a living? What do you teach? Math and coach. He teaches coach. What do you coach?
Baseball and football.
Yeah, baseball and football. That's kind of religions here in Texas, isn't it? Yeah. What's your wife do?
He teaches math.
Teaches math? So you can correct each other's work? Honey, did I get the decimeter right on this? Trust me, I didn't do good math. Look at all the different people we got here, too. We got some older people. How about you, man? How old are you? Can I ask you that?
72.
72 years old. Look how she's out here partying up with every other. Having a party. Coming out 72 years old to a comedy club. See? You've always been a wild woman, haven't you? From Texas?
More
More or
or less.
less. So you come in Texas long enough, you kind of forget where else you could have possibly been from. You learn long time. You know, Texas is all I remember. The rest I blocked out of my mind. Yeah. Did you work?
Yeah, I work at the school.
At the school? You didn't teach coaching, did you? He taught coaching. Yeah, what did you coach?
I coached everything.
Everything. Math? He taught you, yeah. Just passing it on. Leaving a legacy. Good-looking people. How about you? What do you do?
What do you mean? Purchasing. Purchasing.
Parkinson? I had to pick the one guy that's like from Yugoslavia. Parkinson, but dancing into Texas, though, many years, and like it very much. And I have no idea what you just said. I'm going to need a Texas interpreter over here if I can. What do you do?
Industrial construction.
Industrial construction.
Yes, sir.
What kind of industrial construction? Who do you work for?
Brazos Pipe.
Bryson Pipe? I can't say the presence, and I can't say it. What are you laughing? You fart all the time. I can get out of talking to me. I got your number, lady. Don't be talking, playing game with me. 18 years I've been doing comedy. 18 years. And one thing I always prided myself on was I didn't use curse words because I just felt like as a Christian man, I'm not supposed to do it. And secondly, I thought it makes more creative comedy. I always tried to do that. Just tried to be funny. That's it. Tried to compete. It's not easy to compete when you don't use curse words. Because that's all you see in comedy nowadays. About 5 or 6 years ago, I decided to come out on stage, tell people I was a Christian. It got me all kinds of publicity. It surprised me. I wasn't really looking for publicity for doing it. I just thought I was going to talk to my people who needed some comedy options, I felt. There's, not as many Christians out there doing comedy as there are in the mainstream. I just felt like this is what I want to do. And I was out in Hollywood trying to make it in TV and this and that, and nothing really happened. And I just left, and I moved to Tennessee. See, one thing I've never done is quit. I believe that a Christian should be part of the arts. We have a culture that doesn't want anything to do with us. We're not engaging them. We're not showing them how artistic and creative we can be. So I thought I had to move to Nashville, Tennessee, and I was leaving Hollywood. Now, if you want to make it in the movie business or television, you don't want to leave Hollywood and go to Nashville, Tennessee. Kind of defeats the purpose. But I thought I was supposed to move to Nashville, Tennessee and do comedy for my people, my tribe. And I wanted to make it in TV and motion pictures. And I'm leaving. And I'll never forget, I was in Palm Springs, and I was getting ready to leave, and I get in my truck, and with my wife and my 2 kids, my little girls, like 2, my boys 4 or something, little kids, and everything's packed up in my truck. Man, my whole family's going with me, because I made this call, I gotta go. And I'm going down the 10 in Palm Springs, if you know, that goes past all them windmills you see in all the movies. And I've been that road many times. I lived 30 years in California, and I've been there to Palm Springs, did my shows, and went home. And I remember thinking for the first time, I'm going down to 10, I'm not turning around. I'm going to a place that is not my own, to a people that I don't know. And the sun was coming up in the desert, and I'll never forget that I thought to myself, I guess my dream dies today. Guess I'm not going to make it in TV in Hollywood. And I felt like I quit. But I thought I was supposed to do it, because I thought it's what God wanted me to do. And with that big old lump in my throat, I swallowed. And I remember saying, all right, God, there's an adventure out there. Let's turn a page. Let's see what you got for me. And off we went to Tennessee. Not New York, not LA, don't have a shot. I'm just doing what God wants me to do. And in 4 years of being in the middle of America where you don't have a chance of being noticed, I got profiled in the New Yorker magazine. I ended up on CNN, Fox and Friends, Hannity and Combs, New York Times, 3 albums, 2 books, and just completed a movie called Welcome to Paradise with Brian Dennehy and Crystal Bernard about a little town in Texas. Because I did what God told me to do. I've been known as a Christian comic, the conservative comic, and one thing I got to tell you is this. I'm always going to be those things. It's what I'm all about, but I don't hate liberal people, and if you're out there, God bless you. You have the right to be whatever you want in America. And if I have ever made an enemy out of people that I disagree with, I will also publicly apologize, because I would disagree with things, but if I ever make you an enemy, I think that's wrong. It's not what Jesus was about. He loved people. And in an age of terror, by the way, I need every American on my side. We need some unity, and that means we're going to disagree, but we got to do it with some kind of balance. What made America great was we thought we were. We didn't apologize. We didn't get nervous at thinking Europe was going to not like it. You know? We left Europe. On purpose. We created a democracy. You want to know if your country's great or not? Do people want in or do they want out? Not complicated. And I don't hear all them stories about people jamming themselves into boxcars and freight trains trying to sneak into North Korea. You hear anything about that? I'm not either. Don't hear nothing about it. I mean, for crying out loud, they want to end this country, and they should. It's the greatest country there ever was. We ain't perfect. We're not perfect. But the thing is, we believed in the principles that made this country great. We try to change when we make mistakes. But everything we used to come up with, everything that used to come out of America was the best, and we believe that way. I mean, even our sports, that's what I'm proud of. We just exported everything, and people just ate it up, because it was American. We invented baseball. The whole world plays baseball now. We invented football. The world plays football now. We invented basketball. The world plays basketball now. They invented soccer, and we're like, no. That's really dumb. I love all the sports, and we should love the sports, but I am a baseball fan. You should love baseball because it is the national pastime. It was the first sport we came up with, and it paved the road for all the other sports. And it has the single most difficult thing to do in sports, hit a baseball. They all say that. 95-mile-an-hour baseball defies physics. You have to hit a sphere traveling at 95 miles an hour using a cylinder. Then you have to round the bases, which are in the shape of a diamond. That's why there's no pictures of Albert Einstein playing baseball. He theorized it was impossible. And then we had the best fans. We had the best fans. Because, see, all the other fans just did the regular old stuff. Not baseball fans, man. We started wearing equipment all over the place, wearing baseball hats. They're wearing around the world now. Football fans don't walk around wearing helmets now, do they? Now they took baseball hats and put football logos on them. Get your own hat, you babies. Baseball has the hardest thing to do, hit a baseball. Football's a tough sport, but all you have to do is go straight. Take the ball and go straight. Just go straight. All you got to do is go straight. Matter of fact, we'll put sidelines down, so if you stop going straight, you can tell. Oh, and what's the big move with basketball? Oh, the dunk. They're blown away by the dunk. I'm not blown away by the dunk. You know why? Because the basket is 10 feet high, and the people that play basketball are 7 feet high. You start dunking 25-foot-high baskets, you're impressing me. But I'm not impressed by some giant with a pituitary gland problem that can reach his arm all the way over his head. Kind of like me bragging at 5'5" because I'm good at limbo. Oh, look, I won again. Baseball was so cool, they came up with their own song, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Football doesn't got its own song. The most famous song in football is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish song. That's the most famous football song. Fighting Irish, by the way. There you go. Can't have Indian logos anymore. Insensitive. But hey, them drunken Irish guys, throw them on a hat. They don't care. They're drunk. Oh, baseball was the most inclusive sport. You got to be really tall to play basketball. You got to be really strong to play football. Not baseball. You can be fat and be great like Babe Ruth. You can be skinny and be great like Frank Robinson. You can be short and be great like Joe Morgan, or tall and be great like Randy Johnson. You can be Hispanic or Asian. You could be black or white, tall or short. Heck, baseball even had 2 players that had 1 arm. So if you love all the sports, be my guest, but learn to love baseball, learn to understand your national pastime, and to respect it. And if you don't, you're going to hell. I think it's in Micah or something. I read it somewhere. I'm proud of what Texas is, what you represent, and who you are. And that's what I'm saying about America. We are not perfect. We are not going to do everything right. but at least we will always have the satisfaction of knowing at least we're not France. What? Is there a Western nation that went from leaders in technology and science and literature and art to become one of the thinking poster child for wussification? Stand for nothing now. Run away from everything now. What has happened to you? Heck, look at the sport they came up with. Bicycle racing. Ooh. Bicycle racing. They're all proud of their bicycle racing. They can't even find one French guy that can win their own dang race. Heck, we sent a good old Texas boy, Lance Armstrong, down there. He wins the stinking Tour de France 7 times in a row, and they freaked out. This is impossible. This is impossible. This cannot happen. We must check him for drugs. He must be on drugs. We must try drugs. He never had any drugs, but they continue to slander him. They continue to put him down. Oh, he has drugs everywhere. They found nothing. He finally quit, and we sent an Amish guy down there, and he blew him away. An Amish guy. Oh, and that's when they flipped their lid, man. They thought they heard baby. Oh, this is impossible. He must be on drugs. We must find something. And they thought they heard Pater. Ha ha! We knew it. We have tested him, and guess what we have found? He is filled with testosterone. Why, we have found this man is filled with testosterone. We knew something was wrong. We knew something was askew. For we have been testing Frenchmen for years, and we have never found any testosterone. God bless you, Texas. God bless my tribe, and God bless America, the greatest country there's ever been.